And, well, this starts out with an apology, which I don't need to repeat. So, Friday, January the 31st, 2020. I think I've still yet to go back to it. I posted Anachronism 2972. 2972 is what this is supposed to be, and I don't have it I have it incorrectly noted in Roman numerals. In brackets at the top of it says, many apologies. True story. But my laptop went kaput this week, and I spent hours on this long, pretty plain diary-esque poem for you. But the last save met everything a jumble. I will fix it anon, it says, but I have not. There has not been an anon in which I fixed it. That's since January 31st, 2020. I don't think I've done much to it if I have tried. Losing your, and in parentheses, street cred is the name of it. It's the end of an, in parentheses, dash other, experimental month at the beginning of another, in parentheses, dash other, experimental year. And what have you got to show for it? And this is really messed up, by the way. I mean, it's like the lines got completely removed, and so there are words bumped up against each other. So I'll try to read it the way I originally had it and wanted it. What am I doing here? Here happens currently to be the long line outside of the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, which isn't a clinic in the medical sense, but rather where I pick up my funds for my rent and my SRO, or more explicitly, my transitional housing. There is a small sum left for my phone bill and maybe a razor or two, but this is still all the cash I get for the month after I pay my rent, $308. Yeah, that sounds amazing, and would be if I just could land a job. It's now only $185, but I wind up in exactly the same position, no matter how you slice it. Although I did do some work recently, so I've gotten paychecks and things are a little bit better, and I'm, the job market, the job interview stuff is going. I have 4 interviews this week, 3 of which I've already just done. 2 of them were today, and one was a second in-person interview yesterday, so cross fingers, everybody. I mean, you'll never see this before, for very long. It'll probably be a while before you get this, are able to even see this, and most of you, of course, won't, whatever. I did an interview this afternoon. Most of you I'm addressing won't. No, I think everybody I'm addressing will have seen this. Please do listen and keep listening, and if you don't like this one, go to a different one. There's plenty. I did have an interview this afternoon, and this would have been on January the 31st, 2020. But I have 2 interviews scheduled for yesterday, that were canceled last minute each. One due to the interviewer being ill, the other because we seem to have found the right candidate. Woohoo! So I am off to a start. I'll be a rocky one this round. I do have several lined up this next week. They sound quite promising. I call myself, try to do my form of meditation, stay focused, answer questions succinctly, avoid meandering, concentrate on successes rather than actions, whatever that means, and don't talk incessantly with my arms flailing about, thinking these may possibly remove the obstacles that exist between me and the perfect next cubicle. My financial credit report is no good. The check I'm waiting in line for is all the currency I get this month besides food stamps. $194, so yeah, significant. But it's amazing how quickly it all goes. So what is my conclusion? I simply keep trying to live. I keep conducting these experiments, more and more of them, and they get more and more random and absurd as time goes by. That I am a lost man, which, am I simply trying to convince myself, is not a bad thing. Mostly broke, job searching with hope upon hope, a fairly constant stream of unfortunate luck, tucked in my broken bed in my tiny apartment that I have lived in for 11 months, which was immediately preceded by 2 years of living in a shelter and 6 months of living on the streets. But my street cred is something I never thought about until a few short years ago. Well, in general. And on that, I have no idea. This life in which I wake up daily into a new mystery and a newly burgeoning preposterous lack of cred. Mostly broke, job searching with hope upon hope, but always with a bizarre lack of luck. Living life, waking up most every morning into a new mystery, and these mysteries refuse to resolve and therefore accumulate, all here in this small place called San Francisco. Even with its ludicrous or electric, depending on whom you ask, influx of new people and the vast changes of recent, it is a place I'm happy to call home. I have endured hardships just to keep being able to do so, but with all of my friends locally, save one and three long-term partners, possibly a fourth, having fallen decidedly by the wayside, perhaps never to be heard from by me again, and with the additional loss of every material thing I kept for the first 50 years of my life now completely gone, whenever I do this walking, be it day or night, within this city that I love, around people with whom I am generally familiar or at least comfortable, I always feel like I have a bar over my head, like so many video games, or like on a battery-depleted mobile phone, and it's just down to somewhere between 0 and 5%. That's how much juice I have left. I am in dire need of a juice station. I'm in need of life, of air, of water, of love. And I'm definitely and clearly in need of some cred in any form I can possibly score. These words I'm always conjuring out of nowhere and then sending as long missiles to nowhere in the middle of the night, no matter how hungry or low on percentage or in need of cred that I might be at the time, always give me some satisfaction, some comfort, some juice. My words, always dying to escape completely word-sated, word-hungry, and just plain wordy body. And so out they go. So good night, God bless, and may we all be arising, may we all arise a smiling in the morning, in the morrow, because I have so very much yet to tell you. And it's not as all depressing as this is, but I was getting a little bit of myself out at a time when I was getting much better, to be honest. And it's 3.5 years hence, I can tell you I think I'm a lot better, except for right now I have a pretty bad headache. And I have completed 2 interviews, and I am now exhausted as I've done these long month of poems for you as well. Thank you so much for listening. Please come back for more. Do read the longer pieces, and you're the wrong person to tell. I should put this into the shorter ones. The 1 hour, the 1 minute or less ones are the ones that YouTube puts out, the easiest and are most likely to be hit upon by just anybody, which I very much appreciate so much, YouTube, for doing that. Sometimes they'll do a longer one, and then people get on the, people will at least click on that. And of course, most people find, I'm sure, why am I here? And they quickly leave. But the ones that do stay, the ones that have become subscribers, I now have 51 subscribers, which is, to me, I didn't even realize that was something that you could get in YouTube. Is pretty incredible, since that's risen pretty dramatically since I've really started very heavily to be involved in finishing off the recording of all these anachronisms, which is going to happen soon. But we'll continue with the ones that I'm writing, so it will be at a much slower pace henceforth.